right. Hello. Hello. How are you?
Oh, I have been waiting for this 8:30 all day.
Why?
Oh my God. I have been waiting for this. I have never wanted more to be on this session since we started that today.
All right, I'll give you the floor then.
No, 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 no. First of all, how was your day? How was your day?
Fine. It was a very long week. It felt like it was just a very, very long week, but good, good. Everything's fine. Just
You
tired.
had
How
a
about you?
Yeah, it's been a good week. Just gonna have a couple of days to rest for Easter because
Hmm.
we're kind of off work and stuff like that. So just gonna have a couple of days to rest and
Hmm.
we're ready, for next week. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun couple of days off, just chilling at home. So it's been like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
What you
gonna
guys
try
got? You
that.
guys got plans for Easter?
Yeah, well, we get our little food baskets blessed at the church. That's like a very, very Polish tradition. We actually have a church that does it in Polish because it's a big tradition. And then
Oh, you
you
go to a
know,
Polish church here?
no, they just have like Polish services every so often. So when
Oh,
there's
okay.
like special occasions, they'll do it.
Oh, is it like
Um,
a Orthodox church?
it's just Catholic.
Just Catholic? Oh, okay. Cool, cool, cool.
Yeah, my kids go to the school there, so
Oh,
in the
okay.
preschool.
That's good.
And yeah, and then just we have like an acre out here, so we're just gonna spread eggs and have them hunt
Hunt
eggs.
for it.
It's one of those things where both Christmas and Easter kind of like feels extra special when you're doing these things for the kids, like like on a different level, because like there's that magic still, so it's fun. So I've been like shopping for colorful eggs and what to fill them with and stuff like that this week. Yeah.
Okay. Well, kick us off, Marty.
Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Movie Unboxing with Marty and Bola. We are a writer, director, an actor, and an actress and a writer, and each week we dive into a film to unbox how it was made and what makes it tick, talking about the movie from a filmmaker's perspective.
And today's movie was recommended by Marty from last week. It is called The Electric State,
The
which
Electric
was,
State. Yes, I
yeah,
hadn't seen it yet. I was curious about it based because it's based on a graphic novel. And the aesthetic was really cool. So I was like, okay, this might be really, really cool. Now we want to talk about things that are coming out recently, I think, because then, you know, it's it's now, you know what I mean?
yeah, I
Um,
feel you.
and so I thought, hey, Netflix came out with an original. They have done some okay stuff before.
I like what you said that they've done some okay stuff before.
So let's start with how promising it should have been based on that cast list.
Well, I
Okay?
well, here's the thing. I'm looking at the cast list right now. I didn't even
Uh-huh.
realize all of these guys were there because,
Mm-hmm.
like I told you, I slept through this movie and I wasn't gonna go back. I
Well,
was
some
trying
of
to
those people weren't there. Some of these people were just their voices, and
just
it's
their
so
voices.
disappointing because they could have made a better impact, probably.
It I I watched it. I fell asleep. Then I woke up and then I finished it. And then just recently, just a few, like maybe an hour ago, I was like, let me watch this again and maybe I'll get something.
So I'm just curious, when did you fall asleep?
I
Is it just
think
all the battles? Because for me, it's the battles. Like if there's too much battle and it's just like,
no,
and, and okay,
where did I fall asleep? I think I fell asleep when they
to me it was when
first
they found the doctor.
yes. I think it was when they found the doctor.
It's just a little moment.
Or when
Okay,
they were
no,
or when they
so
were trying
let's just
on their way to the doc or either on the way to yeah, she had already linked up with Chris Pratt's character.
Mhm.
I think it was when they found the doctor because I was going in and out of sleep. And then once they found the doctor, I was knocked out. And then I woke up and then they were trying to like fight to get into this. thing or what it I was like, what am I what is that's when I texted you. I said, Marty, you're in trouble. Like,
Okay, because I what I didn't know is I never read the graphic novel, okay? I like them and I like this type of aesthetic.
mhm.
So in general, this could have been really good.
It
So what I did is I looked up more information about the actual book
mhm,
earlier, just like an hour ago. And there's actually even like videos now about how what the story was supposed to be and what the Russo brothers did with it. And it's not even close. Like I'm gonna read the book. I'm really curious about the book because it's nothing like that,
okay.
you know?
Yeah.
The only thing that they really took from it was the aesthetic. It
Mm.
was the post-apocalypse. Do you know Fallout?
Fallout, 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 Fallout.
It was a video game and then they made a TV show on it.
I,
On I
it's
think it's a Prime original.
it sounds familiar, but
So
I get
I
I
really, really love Fallout. I used to play that video game a lot, and then I watched that show, and it was very, very cool. It was very good. But what it is it's dark. It's post-apocalypse, and there's this one guy that's got like his thumb. He's like the like icon for all of this. That is like disturbing because he's so friendly and so cute. He's almost like a mascot for a child.
mm,
But it represents all of this awful, awful death and darkness, you know?
mm,
So it was that contrast that I thought I would get from this, you
mm,
know? Where
mm,
those robots all look completely ridiculous to where, kind of on the level of like why clowns are scary. Like
mm,
it's cutesy, but it represents something really, really awful and dark. But they managed to make a film about someone's little brother dying and me not even quite caring because like for some reason the way they made the story I never developed a relationship or like a caring relationship about any of these people, and that
mm.
sucks because again they're good actors.
Yeah.
Not the actor's fault, it's
I
just
didn't I just I was the when I was watching it the few times I was awake to watch it, I was like, this thing is not resonating with me at
it
all. Like
didn't
this,
it,
I'm
it's
not
the
feeling any
story, it was the
connection.
storytelling, the
Yeah, it
storytelling didn't I don't. And you know what came up, by the way?
what?
Whenever I started looking it up, I wanted to look up like how close to like the novel was the movie, like
Mm,
was it, you know?
mhm,
And one of the videos that showed up was showing multiple sources of a theory that Netflix knows that people tend to just scroll their phones.
mhm.
So they dumb down their movies so that while you're scrolling on your phone and you're only halfway watching, you still know what's going on.
That
That's what that felt like, didn't
if
it?
it
It felt dumbed down.
even it to me, even if that's what they did, it still didn't even work to me because I was struggling to pay attention to the story. Like, what is this?
Okay,
Like,
so did you get what the story was supposed to do?
well, to me, there were two storylines, there were two metaphors, euphemism that I got from this story. One was technology taking over our lives and controlling us and stuff like that, and we need to find more human connection.
Hmm.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
that
Like,
could have been a really great
yeah.
story.
So
That could have been a really great criticizing what's going on right now in the world
exactly,
through COVID, people not even leaving the house anymore and just everything's
exactly,
online.
and
Yeah.
also Stanley Tucci's character being like the tech oligarch, controlling all of us and stuff like that, as we have, in today's world with all the tech giants, how they are controlling us through all,
Yeah, how
seemingly
they
they're
have like a god complex in
exactly,
there was
with
two analogies for the god complex and I want to say the one where they show up and they're standing on the water, that was a cool shot. Like that was a cool shot.
I probably was asleep when that happened.
Really? Okay, so Stanley Tucci downloads no. I guess he shows up. How? They, because they communicate through these computers. So like he
Like
downloads himself or
headgear,
whatever.
the headgear thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to Giancarlo Esposito's place,
Car
and he generates the world around them while they're talking, and the world that he generates around them is this beautiful nature site, and but they're standing on a lake, like they're standing on the water,
yeah.
like Jesus walked on water. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
So
And then
he has
later he
that God
compares
complex
himself to God.
to God. Yeah, yeah. And that's the whole thing. Like, these tech moguls controlling us through technology, and we're becoming slaves to technology, and we
Right.
can't live our
And we
lives
have no
through
idea how much they're controlling right now
their
because they only send you the suggestions of stuff that you like, I don't know, mentioned before or you typed into another person, and they only suggest that. They like eliminate everything else so they can feed you only one side that's politically, and you
yeah.
don't ever hear, for example,
Yeah. And
So,
then the other part of the subtext of the story was also I saw the robots as immigrants.
mhm,
Like they were immigrants, and they're part of our lives, but because they're different, we take them for granted, we excommunicate them, we treat them like trash and stuff like that. And obviously the first time they stand up and fight, like, no, we
yeah,
have rights too, and yada 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 yada. But at the end of the day,
yeah,
we're just like, no, you don't. So those are
yeah.
the two storylines I got from it, and I think they could have
Both of which were like oddly not really fulfilled. They were just like touched on. They were like
exactly, because
suggested.
I was just about to say that they could have used any one of those two storylines and ran with it,
Hmm.
but they
Yeah.
they didn't.
So, and same with Stanley Tucci because there's this one scene where he literally just mentions, like, there's one little scene where he's sitting at a table and he's having dinner or whatever, and his mom is being so sweet and she's telling him, "Oh, you're so cute," blah blah blah, and then he turns off the computer. And then later he mentions that, oh yeah, my mother was abusive when she was drunk. When she wasn't drinking, she was even worse. So in this
Mm,
computer world, I can have a great mother. And that's it.
yeah,
And that's all she wrote.
I saw that part too.
But
Um,
like, I mean, that could have been a good story. Give me more of a villain. But he was so, and I love that actor. I love all of these actors. So I feel so sad for them because it's not their fault. We've all had to read a script that wasn't good fully, and you
yeah,
couldn't fully resonate with the character, or even you do your best, you try to resonate with the character, but the writing only goes so far. You can't make the movie better when they put it together, you know what I mean?
yeah.
So I just
So
feel like that's what that was.
what I was also gonna say, damn, I just lost my train of thought here.
I'm sorry.
Um, damn, I just lost it. I just lost it. I just lost it. The film also could have gone really dark, and I think, I'm going to harken back to what you said when you said you did the research, where you said Netflix dumbed down their stories
Yeah.
so that people can be
Yeah.
doing two things at the same time. I think that is very, if that is true, I think that's very foolish of Netflix, because if
Of
you
course.
if you give us a compelling story and you stay true to that story, people would watch it. Now, not everybody's a fan of story like that,
No, I agree.
but the people
But
who are fans of it, and you give them a true story, and this could have been, I think they should have gone a much darker
yes.
place,
Yes.
much realistic place. The
Yes.
comedy, the funny, the kiddie part of it.
That's you know who the Russo brothers, they did Endgame, they did like a lot of the Avengers, like they do that thing where the
So
robot dies, he's like,
they were
I
the
love you like more than a friend, and then he's like not dead. Like it's
the
just
it's I
stupid. Like
yeah, I'm like that. Then maybe they were the wrong directors to give this story to them.
I think so. I
They were the
think
wrong
so
guys. They
because you
should have
know
given
what
it to,
else though?
well,
Netflix. So yes, I agree that it would be really foolish of them to dumb down a story so people can just follow it because you're not going to go back to watch it again. You're only going to watch it one time because it wasn't compelling. Because you scrolled your phone. So why would you go back, right? Um, but also if they did really, really nail the critique that this story was supposed to make,
mhm.
they would basically be telling people, stop binge watching Netflix and go play with your friends. And that's
Well,
probably
they
not in
don't
their
they
best
well,
interest.
they don't need to preach that because we already know that. We can't sit around and watch Netflix 24/7. At some point I'm gonna get up from Netflix and go do something else,
Pee.
maybe go read a book or go, go talk on the phone with my friend or go meet a friend or go out or something like that. So I don't think, that's gonna deter that. We already know that. We already know that
You
we should
don't
have
think some
human
of these
contact.
tech people hope that one day we will just stop getting up?
Well, that's not gonna happen. People are gonna get up. You know what I'm saying? You might have some couch potatoes, but I think you're gonna have a lot more people get up, and go do something. So I don't,
Yeah.
I think they messed up on, and here's the funny thing. This movie was made for $320 million.
Yes, I saw that. I was
It's
like,
expensive.
whoa,
I'm like,
what?
really? You just threw $320 million away.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Can you
literally just,
imagine how many smaller films you could make out of it that are infinitely more like of an impact?
you could have made a way better story of this movie, probably far less if you had
Yeah.
really just written a real script.
Well, I
And
mean, let's be honest here, okay? No disrespect or offense to any of these people, but most of that money went to Chris Pratt, Millie Bobby Brown, because they're that famous right now. Probably Stanley Tucci and Giancarlo Esposito too. Then you have like what Captain America voiced one of the
yeah, Anthony
robots, and Alan
Mackie,
Tudyk did the other one.
Woody Harrelson, Brian Cox, their
Woody
voices with,
Harrelson. Like
yeah.
they just had a crazy cast in it. But
So,
again, look at how good these actors are, and they were not able to save the story.
well, let me say something about Chris Pratt, and you're probably gonna not gonna like me for this. Chris Pratt to me is, him, Jason Momoa, and The Rock. To
Don't
me,
have range.
what'd you say?
They don't have range.
Well, they
They're
don't
the
have
same
range.
person.
Even Chris Pratt has more range than all of them, but they don't have range at all. But here's the thing: whenever I want to take them seriously as actors, they do these they get into these movies that I'm just like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, how can I take you seriously as an actor? You know what I'm saying?
I
Now
think the
take
actor that I
take
take the most seriously out of this movie is, in fact, Giancarlo Esposito, because he is
because he's a real
incredible.
actor.
Yeah,
He has
he's
range.
incredible. And he is a great villain, but he's such a good villain that you actually trust him sometimes. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah. He
Like,
did.
yeah.
It was. He was probably the most fascinating person I was watching the whole
I
time.
know, but half of the time it was this part of his face,
Yeah, exactly,
or he was on a
exactly,
computer, and I was
exactly.
like, "That's such a waste of
It was
such a
it was
great actor."
it
He's a great
was
looking actor too. It's not like you've got to hide him. Like,
it was. And
yeah,
when I say Chris Pratt too, I'm like, listen, he did the Jurassic Park movies, which I thought was like, okay, he's now elevating himself to like being maybe an action hero or stuff like that. And then he goes to do Guardians of the Galaxy and then this, and I'm just like, okay, bro, I can't take you seriously, man.
okay. So my issue with him is I really, really, really loved Chris Pratt when he was on Parks and Recreation.
Parks and Rec, yeah.
He was chubby. He was funny as hell. He made half of his jokes up, and he was just the happy labradoodle, okay?
Hmm.
Then he gets the role for Guardians and for Jurassic World. He muscles up. He puts his
Hmm.
spray tan on. Fine with me. You can look more handsome. That's fine. But immediately he loses his personality in this.
You're saying in this one?
No, he lost. No, no. When he became more famous, he just lost personality to me.
I
Like,
think
I
I
love
think
Guardians of the Galaxy. I enjoyed these movies. I do, but it's
do
it's
you
not
en- do, it,
his wit anymore.
do you enjoy those movies because of the kids, or that's without the
No,
kids?
I
That's,
like the Guardians of the
oh, you
Galaxy.
like, okay.
Those I
I would
liked
never.
before I had kids.
I would, yeah, okay. I would never watch Guardian of the Galaxy. I wouldn't take. I I know some actors got to do it, fine, but I just thought like when you started making certain type of movies, you don't. I don't want you to revert back to some other kind of movies. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think
Idris is just for
taking these roles is
money.
mostly for fame.
It's mostly for well, I don't think
Some people may be doing it for the kids. Some people may be doing it for the kids. I mean, I would absolutely not turn down a superhero because if I can, as a small little blonde girl, prove that I can be strong too to all the other little blonde girls, I will. You know?
well, it's not that it's not about not taking these roles. It's about like, okay, is the script good? Because I do not want to
The
get
Guardians
on
of the
there.
Galaxy scripts are pretty good.
Well,
They're pretty good
maybe I
films.
don't want to get up there and and the story is trash.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Because it does affect you. It really
it
does
does.
affect you as an actor, because actor and actress. Here's an example. Um, this is you've heard of this show Entourage.
Mm-mm.
Okay, Entourage is a on it was on HBO as a series, and it's just following this guy as a Hollywood star.
Mhm.
It's pretty much like they wrote the life of
Oh,
Liv.
I think I saw a trailer for that. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
it's old. It's over now. But I think
Mhm.
they're trying to revitalize it, something like that. And you do have like real celebrities in the show. Like, you
Mhm.
might see real basketball players. So anyway, in one of the seasons, he was supposed to be playing. He wanted to play this drug dealer. What's his name? Damn, what's this popular drug dealer from the 80s?
Which national? No,
Escobar, Pablo
Pablo
Escobar.
Escobar.
He was supposed to be playing
Pablo.
Pablo Escobar. And for
Mhm.
some reason, he just couldn't get the role. But the studio wanted him to play Aquaman. And he did not want to play Aquaman. He wanted to take himself seriously as an actor
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But for some reason, the script wasn't available. So he needed money. So he took Aquaman. And it was a success. James Cameron directed Aquaman in this show. And it was a
Mhm.
huge success. It was bigger than Titanic, everything, big show.
Aquaman is such a
So
stupid superhero.
So the studio executive, had promised him that if he does Aquaman, he will get him the Pablo Escobar role to do. So
Oh, I see.
the movie was a success and stuff like that. So he had a meeting with the executive, say, okay, let me play this role now. And the executive relented, say like, bro, this Aquaman was so successful, I can't mess up the franchise. You know why? Because I don't want you to be on all these big screens,
Hmm.
sniffing coke on,
Yep.
I've got to keep the image of you being the Aquaman. So what I
Yeah.
say is that you've already built a street cred now. You have a street cred,
Yeah.
and you can't deviate from that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if you and I have to add Idris Elba to that list too of actors that like they'll do something good, and then you see them do something like, what the hell are you doing? What's the who's your agent? Who's your
What
manager
did he
advisor?
do?
He's done some stuff that over the years that he just be like,
I am waiting for Idris to become the next Bond.
he's not gonna be the next Bond.
I know, but I would watch the shit out of that.
Nah, I think he's too. I think he's too old, and I think he's done a lot of.
Now he is. I
Yeah, I think
know.
he's done a lot of, and he's done a lot of, like I said, done a lot of stupid stuff that the studio people who choose Bond were like, no, we don't want you as. First of all, he's too popular to play Bond.
So the truth is that I cannot picture. Okay, let me revert. Um sorry. My brain is dumbing down. Walter White in Breaking Bad, right?
Hmm.
To me, that performance till this day is one of the best acting performances I have seen on TV because of how his character developed and how he goes and shifts from this almost doormat of a man to the ultimate freaking villain.
And here's the thing, I like what you
Where
said.
where did this guy start?
He started from Malcolm in the Middle,
Malcolm in the Middle, stupid ass dad. And
and
I
he
watched
went
him
from
then
that.
and I was like, this guy needs to do something else. He has potential. My dad would walk through the living room while I'm watching this as a kid and say, this dude needs to do something else. And look at him.
But here's the thing though. He went from Malcolm in the Middle and whatever else he was doing that wasn't anything, and then he went from
Many years.
Breaking Bad, and then has he reverted back to anything like Malcolm in the Middle?
Mm-mm.
No, he's just gone on to do other things.
He's
May not
doing
be as great.
incredible things. And everybody takes him seriously.
Now, how do you expect me
I
to take Chris Pratt?
cannot.
I cannot take Chris Pratt seriously
Thank
anymore.
you. So
I
the
can't
beginning
take
of
it.
my sentence when I said, hold on, let me revert, was going to be,
I can't
I
take him
do not
seriously.
see Chris Pratt ever being serious, being a threat, being uh seriously depressed or like
And
yeah.
he had that with the Jurassic World. That was going to give him the trajectory to go because I think he was solid there. But he's
I don't
reverting
know. See,
back.
Jurassic Park and Jurassic World are not my thing. Like I'm not
Well,
really
no,
like
no,
I don't think I've
well,
seen it.
but
I
like
don't
an
think I've
action,
seen it.
but as an action hero, I
Yeah.
believed it.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, Chris, you're coming up. But now he's going back to this kind of stuff. No, The Rock, the same thing. Jason Momoa,
No, okay, look, The Rock is and has always only ever been The Rock. Okay? I've never seen him actually be someone else. Like, he's
well,
just The Rock.
okay, maybe,
It's
well,
just like, okay, hey, this film is funny enough, The Rock would fit in it. So we'll put The Rock, not like, hey, I wrote a character, The Rock could play this character. You know what I
well,
mean?
yeah,
And again, no
maybe.
disrespect.
I mean, they're getting paid. So either way, they're getting paid.
They're doing
But to
better than
me,
me.
I mean, they're getting paid. But if I was casting for anything if serious, I wouldn't think of these guys or a real serious action role. I'm like, no, man, you got Jason Momoa. You did that little what's that new crap that
No,
he
I
got
love
coming out?
Jason Momoa though.
Not I'm not even talking about the Aquaman stuff. There was something he did right now, and the Aquaman was a good trajectory, like okay, action hero and stuff like that. And then he does something that's like a video game type of movie and stuff like that.
Oh, Minecraft.
Yeah, I'm like,
Oh
what the
my
hell is
gosh, I forgot that he's in the new Minecraft
I'm
movie.
like this. I saw the trailer of that thing. I'm like, what in
I
the
didn't even
world?
do that. I know that
I
my kids
s-
want to see it. I'm not, no. It
that
looks
I said
traumatizing to me. I just saw the poster and I'm like,
I
this is gonna
saw the
give me
trailer,
nightmares.
and when I saw Jason Momoa, in it, I'm like, what is this trash you're doing? Who is advising you to take these roles? Are you
Who's your
broke?
agent?
Are you broke? Is that what it is? So Chris Pratt, I'm asking Chris
No.
Pratt, are you broke? That's why you took this. Like you had to have read the script and be like, what the hell is this? Now, you with the other actors, their faces are not there. So they're fine.
Mm.
This
Except for Jack
doesn't
Black. Jack Black, this is right up Jack Black's alley though. He likes
yeah,
this stuff.
yeah,
He never
that's not the
tried to be serious.
yeah, but this is their voice. You can do a voiceover and if the movie is horrible, it doesn't matter, it doesn't ruin you. But Chris Pratt, this is your face that's on this
Mm.
movie now. You've got to own this 320 million, whatever.
And I also do think that partially why they went down this route of doing this film, of adapting this story, was because they saw pictures of it, they saw the aesthetic of it, and went, you know what did really well? Stranger Things. Let's do something like that again. But they didn't.
Yeah,
Because Stranger
it
Things actually
was.
came out good. They had that retro aesthetic. And then the Upside Down was really dark. Like it
Mm,
was a serious story. People really did die, and they did very, very well with that.
mm-hmm.
I think they thought they were going to do something like that with this, but they didn't.
This was a. And here's the thing: out of all the movies that we've done, we've talked about, we've unboxed. I have never gone to look at the reviews of what the critics have said.
Oh, I don't either because I try to go in with an open mind
No,
and
no,
with
no.
my own
I'm
opinion.
talking about like after I finished watching it. So like, okay, let me
Oh,
go see
oh,
what people
okay.
say. I did that for this,
Oh, yeah.
and nobody wrote anything good about it.
Oh,
No,
really?
I looked up. I think I've looked up to like almost 50. Nobody wrote anything good about this.
Yeah,
So
that's
now it
fine.
made me feel
Because
better.
because
It
you
made
know
me feel,
who went to watch it? The people that are fans of the actual novel.
and I'm
And
sure they were
then they're
disappointed.
disappointed. It's like reading Harry Potter and then, well, Harry Potter wasn't bad, but I'm saying like reading a full book, Twilight. I don't know. I can't come up with anything
I'm trying
else.
to see
Game of
what book.
Thrones, even like
Yeah,
disappointed
well,
after
Game of
you
Thrones,
know the story in the book was
they
better.
liked it up until season whatever. They
Yeah.
liked it, but
But
there's some books that they would people are fans of, and then they'll adapt it and be like, "What the hell is this trash?" I'm sure the
Exactly.
fans went to watch this or watch this and they're like,
Hmm.
what is this trash? Like this
This
is
is
not,
not even
yeah.
close to the actual story. It's
I'm
just the look of it.
Are you
Like,
going? You're gonna where you gonna go get the graphic novel? I'm probably gonna go get it too because I'm sure the graphic novel is really good.
I'm wondering actually if it is like super expensive right now because it's just came out.
No, no, the book came out years ago, so it probably. I
Yeah,
mean,
so I probably,
you can rent it
you know
at the
that
library.
in Pineville there is a store called the Book Rack.
Oh, it's
It's
a graphic novel bookstore.
it's no, it's like a small, really, really small, tight space with a lot of books. They're all used, so they're very, very cheap because they're used.
Hmm.
It's just kind of antique feeling.
Yeah, well, if you
That,
gotta
but
go,
that's
if
where I
you,
usually go to get my books.
yeah, I'll probably rent it at the library and read it. And then yeah, I'm sure it's a good graphic novel, but this was not it.
No,
320
it was
million.
dark. All I saw is that there is a few images taken directly out of the graphic novel. Like, for example, the scene at the gas station or wherever at that PO box where that guy is just like kind of,
Hmm.
basically drugged out next to the
Yeah,
dumpster with the thing on. That was like a picture directly taken from
from
the
the.
graphic novel.
Oh, okay.
But that was dark until they literally didn't like made it not so dark. You know what I
So in
mean?
other words, we agree that, if we can either go the route where if first of all, we agree that the story, whatever route we go, or if we were doing it, it was going to be a dark story, just like the novel.
Yes.
You can either go the route of where technology is controlling us and
Yes.
the humans, whoever is trying to break free,
Mm.
or actually, you know what? How about we went through like it's the robots who are trying to break free from human. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that was a storyline that they had in the beginning.
There's a video game about that too. I wonder if they're gonna make a movie about that because that was a good story. It's called
Yeah,
Detroit, I think.
or you can go the route of like, maybe the robots are immigrant or represent immigrants or something like that. It all plays
Or
together.
you can again, you
Stanley
could
Tucci's
focus
character,
on the God complex and the how messed up his childhood was that it led to this. That first he thought, "Hey, how do I escape from this reality?" And then he realizes I can actually infect the entire world and control the entire world
they could have
with
gone so many
technology.
places, but this was
But
not
this was
it.
not it.
This was not it. This was not it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
If you're watching Chris Pratt and what's her name, Millie, whatever, what's her name? What's the girl's name?
Millie Bobby Brown.
Yeah, I like you from Stranger Things, even though I'm not really a Stranger Thing fan per se. But yeah, this was not it.
Your
I'm sorry.
acting was fine.
Yeah, it was
No,
not it.
she actually, it was kind of crazy to me because I remember whenever the first Stranger Things came out, people were starting to draw like similarities from between little, baby girl Millie Bobby and Winona Ryder. And when she was in this film, now that she's kind of matured because she's now actually a woman, um, she's got the same facial features that it was crazy. Every so often I was like, is that Winona? Like it was crazy.
Hmm.
She's a very good actress. I wish her luck getting into something more serious too, because
Yeah, this wasn't it. So what you gonna give this out of 10?
so I want to give it's hard. It's hard because they've wasted so much money.
And
And
talent.
I kind of want to take an entire point away because $320 million.
It's
Do you?
all.
Oh my God. Okay. How many movies could you make with this? How many hungry people could you help with this? Like, it's just
How many
no.
how many indie films could you have, like low budget indie films could you have made with this?
Yeah.
Like we're talking and like really done a great job with
Yeah.
320 million.
Yeah, that
You
hurts. That makes me angry. Oh,
Yeah.
the only other thing that I like, okay, so I have to give kudos to the actual aesthetic, which was very, very cool. Not their original content, technically, because they've taken it from someone or
Mm-hmm.
bought it off of someone. But if the story had been more compelling, visually it was cool. It looked good. And there was a lot of good acting in it.
What?
I think it's gonna be a 3. Because I wanted to give it a 4, but this the that money really makes me mad.
So I'm gonna give it a 3 also, but I'm gonna give them a week 4. Reason why it's a
Yeah.
week 4 is because of the like you said, the aesthetics,
Oh, and the
the
music. The music was something that was really, really cool because they did like really old songs that we all like our age group would like recognize, but they did
yeah,
it like in melancholic piano. And
yeah.
so the idea, like they had something, man. They had something. This could have
I'm
been
giving
so
it a week
good.
4 because of
Yeah.
the 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 graphics with
The
regards to the
visuals,
machines, the
yeah.
visuals, the robots and everything like that. That was spectacular. The people who
Oh,
handled
that
that.
I did look up yesterday, right after the film, is was the making of all of the robot scenes and the fight scenes. That's all people. So yeah.
So I'm giving them a week. No, I'm giving them a 3. I can't even give them a 4. I can't give them a 4. It was just so no, it was good. So just for the visual effects, the robots and all that stuff, that was brilliantly done.
Hmm.
I'm giving them a 3 for that. Everything else, the money, putting these actors there and no impact, Chris Pratt doing
Yeah.
this.
And again, my issue is, okay, can we just retell the story? Literally, this girl loses her entire family, then finds a robot that tries to communicate to her that he is her brother, little brother, and who is still alive. So she's going through a wasteland of broken robots to find him. And then the story ends with him telling her, "You need to kill me because I'm basically a vegetable kept alive by machines. To save the world, you need to kill me." That is such a dark story. I didn't feel it. I didn't feel it.
I didn't even, when I say I didn't, it didn't speak to me. I'm waiting for something to happen. Like, okay, is there something to, I just fell asleep and woke up and I'm like, okay, oh, I woke up to the action part. Okay, okay. But
It's
it didn't
just
speak to me.
that I can't believe that I would watch something where a little girl loses her younger brother and I don't feel it, you know?
Well, because I
So,
think we didn't feel it because it was done in a cartoonish way. It was told in a
yeah.
very childish, cartoonish way, so there was no way to feel it. I don't think
Yeah.
we were meant to feel it.
But that's my problem. That could have made an impact. That part of the story was
Yeah.
good. That part of the story could have been something.
Well, sorry, guys. This was not it. This was not
Get
whatever
the
it is.
novel. Get the novel.
Yeah, whatever it is you guys were trying to do, Netflix, this was not it. It didn't
No.
work. And like I said, I looked up every review that I could find about this thing. Nobody gave it a
Did you
good
check
review.
what rating it has on like IMDb or something?
No, but I
I'm
checked
curious. Or Rotten
was
Tomatoes or whatever?
Rotten Tomatoes, they had like 37 over 100 or 3.3 three something.
That's a 3. That's a 3 out of 10. That's
It was
exactly what
bad.
we're
You know,
doing.
it was really bad. Like
Yeah.
I didn't see anything really promising about this, so I
Well, we
felt
weren't
good.
gonna always watch good movies, okay? This is kind of the point. We need to be able to analyze. You made me watch The Gladiator too, okay?
Well, you actually liked Gladiator 2. You actually
No, I
liked it.
didn't.
You thought it was okay.
And then let's not talk
And
about the gorge.
Denzel carried the movie. Nobody carried nothing carried this movie. Nothing
Yeah,
could carry.
yeah.
It was just not good. So anyway, that's it for today's episode, guys. Um Subscribe to the channel, leave comments. What do you think about the movie? What do you think about our analysis of it? How we unboxed
Yes,
this
please
movie?
argue if you have
Yes,
opinions.
please. If you found anything good about this film, please tell us in the comments. subscribe to the channel, like the video, and we'll see you guys next week. For next week, it's my turn
Hmm.
to come up with a film. It took I was so traumatized by this movie, I couldn't even think of a movie for us to watch. But I found one. Um, it's a Tyler Perry movie
Oh,
on
okay.
on Amazon Prime, and it's called Duplicity. It's new.
Okay.
So I think it just came out like a couple of months ago or something like that.
Cool.
And so Tyler Perry movies are somewhat controversial in terms of like how people analyze his films because he's like he does a rush job with his films and stuff like that. But we'll talk
Okay.
about it. We'll talk about it. You've seen any of Tyler Perry's films?
I think I have. I can't come up with any of the titles right now, but I think I have. I was also going to be in one,
Oh,
but I
for real?
couldn't make it to Atlanta
Oh,
in
okay.
time because they
Okay.
had to reschedule and then I couldn't,
You couldn't make
make
it.
it.
Okay. Atlanta's not far, so that's just around. Maybe you need to start looking at Atlanta for like roles and stuff like that.
I am actually submitted for something there
Yeah, it's
recently.
like seriously. So that's just around the corner. You can just drive in and drive back out. But anyway, so next week we'll be unboxing the Tyler Perry movie Duplicity. It's on Amazon Prime. It just came out just a couple of months ago. So guys, go watch it if you haven't seen it, and join us next week
Yeah.
and
Tell us
when
what
we
you
will be
think.
unboxing the movie, and we'll want to hear what your thoughts are too. Until then, again, please subscribe to the channel, leave comments with regards to how, this movie, The Electric State, what do you think
Like,
about it?
follow,
If you watched
subscribe,
it, not watched it,
find us on Instagram.
yeah, I'm gonna obviously, I'm gonna be leaving the link to our Instagram and stuff like that. Like the video, share the links, and we will see you guys next week. Happy Easter.
Bye.